Or feel like your brain just won't quit?
Yeah.
Like it's stuck on overdrive?
Always going, right.
Yeah, just a constant stream of worries and to-dos and everything else.
I know that feeling.
Well, today we're diving into something that might help. It's called the Five Senses Check-In.
Okay. I'm intrigued.
We actually found it in a Facebook post, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah, from the Mental Behavioral Health Alliance.
Interesting.
So we're going to take a deep dive into this Five Senses Check-In and see what it's all about, why it might work, and, how we can maybe use it.
Sounds good.
So what's interesting is that it's, surprisingly simple.
Okay.
You're basically just asking yourself 5 questions.
All right. Lay mommy.
What am I hearing? What do I see? What do I taste? What do I feel? And what do I smell?
Huh. So it's all about tapping into your senses.
Exactly. Just those 5.
I like it. Simple and straightforward.
But, at first glance, you might think 5 senses, really. That's it.
Yeah. You might underestimate it, right?
Yeah. But stick with us because there's actually a lot more to it than meets the eye.
I'm ready.
So what I find fascinating is this idea that it helps us tap into the power of the present moment.
Oh, absolutely. We're so caught up in our thoughts, past and future, that we forget to actually be present.
Right. It's like this technique, almost forces us to just stop and be in the moment.
Totally.
Would you say that's accurate?
Absolutely. By focusing on each sense, we kind of break free from those mental loops that keep us stuck in anxiety or dwelling on the past.
I can see that. So, imagine you're in the middle of a panic attack. Your mind's racing, heart's pounding.
You can feel like everything's spiraling.
Exactly. So how could this 5 senses check-in actually help in a moment like that?
Well, think of it as a grounding technique. It pulls your attention back to the physical world, to what's actually happening around you.
Oh, I see. So you shift your focus.
Exactly. You might notice the cool air on your skin, the sound of birds chirping, the texture of your clothes.
It's like hitting the pause button on all the mental chaos.
Precisely.
But how does simply noticing these things actually change how we feel?
It all boils down to mindfulness, being fully present in the moment. When we shift from internal chatter to external sensations, we're essentially rewiring our brains to focus on what is rather than what if.
That's a powerful shift.
It is. It's not about ignoring our thoughts and emotions, but creating space between us and them.
I noticed the post also mentioned deep belly breaths as part of the check-in. Is that just for relaxation or is there something more to it?
It's definitely more than just relaxation. You see, our breath is directly linked to our nervous system, which controls our stress response.
Oh, interesting.
When we're anxious, our breathing gets shallow and fast.
Oh, yeah, you could feel it.
Right, which triggers that fight or flight mode. But deep, slow breaths do the opposite. They signal to our body that we're safe, calming the nervous system down.
It's like a reset button for our whole system.
Exactly.
So this incredible technique for grounding ourselves in the present moment, it comes from a therapist named Holly Schweitzer-Dunn. She's a licensed independent social worker with a master's degree from Virginia Commonwealth University.
Impressive credentials.
Yeah, and what I found really interesting is that Dunn emphasizes a balanced approach to treatment, focusing on the whole person.
I think that's so important, recognizing that our mental and physical health are intertwined.
Totally. It's not just about managing stress. It's about overall well-being.
Exactly.
And, Dunn treats a wide range of issues: eating disorders, anxiety, grief, trauma.
It's a broad spectrum.
Yeah. And it makes you think about how this 5 senses check-in could be used in so many different situations, not just for dealing with intense emotions.
Absolutely. Imagine you're at a party, feeling overwhelmed by the crowd. Instead of getting lost in anxious thoughts, you could use this technique to ground yourself. Notice the colors, the sounds, the taste of the food.
It's like a way to bring yourself back to the moment.
Exactly. Engage with your surroundings in a more mindful way.
So for everyone listening right now, what does this all mean for you? How could you use the 5 senses check-in in your own life?
All right, where could you fit it in?
Yeah, maybe during your commute, waiting in line, or even before an important meeting.
The beauty is its simplicity and accessibility.
Exactly. It's something anyone could do.
It really does make you wonder, doesn't it? If our senses are constantly giving us information, how much are we missing out on by not being more aware of them?
That's a great question.
Could we appreciate everyday experiences more? Could it deepen our connection to nature or even improve our relationships?
I think it's definitely worth exploring.
Absolutely. Try incorporating the 5 senses check-in into your day, even for just a few minutes. See what you notice. You might be surprised by what you discover.
I think that's a great place to leave it. Thanks for joining us for another deep dive.
My pleasure.